What if I told you that who you're becoming breaks down into 5 simple components? What if I told you that becoming the best version of yourself is by mastering these 5 components? These same 5 components are broken down into a system that I've been teaching and helping people to evolve and become their best self, and giving them access to become their greatest version of themselves, most profitable, most impactful, and just most true and honest to themselves, most authentic. I'm going to break those 5 components down today because I love it. I call it a root system. And your root system, like a tree, is the one that sources down into the earth and sources everywhere and breaks through anything that's in their way to become so fruitful, so profitable, so impactful, to produce what you are meant to produce in this world. Right? So tap into your passion, root down, and then grow and expand from there. That's what I'm going to break down today, is the root system. So you're in for a treat. In full transparency, this is episode number 1 of the Evolving Human Experience. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to kind of show up this way in a very, barefoot and raw way, sitting, kicking it, chilling. So thank you for joining me. And yeah, let's get right into it. So the root system, I break this down, and don't leave yet. I'm about to go a little biblical. Don't leave yet. The reason, I'm going to use one verse to, and I'm really going to paraphrase it. Be fruitful, do produce, reproduce, multiply, and be fruitful, multiply, and replenish, and subdue, and have dominion. That verse, first thing is be fruitful. What does be fruitful mean? From my mentor, Myron Golden, he talks about being fruitful is to produce on the outside based on what's on the inside. So what's on the inside of you? What's inside of you? That's going to be your passion, your gift, your blessing from God, from Jah, from whoever you call, whoever you were created from, whoever your creator is, they gave you a gift, right? Going from there, be fruitful, then multiply. It means not just to increase, right? Not just one by one. Multiply means exponentially. So 2 by 2, 2 by 4, 2 squared, 10 squared, etc., etc. And replenish, it's to replace, to put back in the earth what is already gone. So replenish, to refill. Subdue means to trample down, means to overcome, means to break through these obstacles through your root system. And have dominion means have control, have domain, have that confidence over that space. That is what this whole roots to fruits concept came from, and really the whole becoming an evolved human. So if you're trying to become the best version of you, it's going to break down to these 5 concepts. The root system, which breaks down into your mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, and intellectual spaces. Those components. Those are the 5 aspects of human nature. Those are also the 5 dimensions of wellness. Also, a concept I created, these are also the 5 languages of pain. If people are having pain, they're having pain in these 5 areas: mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and intellectually. Let's break them down really quick so you understand them. Mentally. Also, once you master these 5 things, you could become the best version of yourself easily. Mentally is how we respond to information. These becomes our habits and behaviors. All right, so it's not the fact that it's really the information that creates our habits. So how we respond to the information. If it rains, right? So there's a habit that when it rains, people want to sit inside and watch movies. That is a habit. Some people have a habit when it rains, they go outside and walk in the rain. Some people have a behavior that when it rains, they go dancing in the rain, they go running in the rain, right? They order in when it rains. So these are habits and behaviors. The information, the rain is not saying that you need to do this thing, but it's really how we respond to information. Same thing when we wake up. We hear an alarm, that's information. How we respond to that alarm. Do we press snooze or do we get up and go? This simple habit will change how you show up in the world. So if the alarm goes off and you decide I'm gonna get up and go get it, that is a habit that if you create every single day, that whatever your alarm goes off, you get up and you go get it, whatever going and get it, that it means to you, being productive in the world, in your life, versus pressing snooze 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I've been there. I've been press snooze. Now I get up earlier because now I have kids, and that changes my whole dynamic of living. And I got to make sure I get up earlier so I can go on my run. I can meditate. I can just enjoy some me time. If I want to just spend 15 minutes just scrolling, I need to make sure I don't press snooze. If I press snooze, there's no scrolling is gone. Because I also got to make sure I clean up the kitchen and just do the things in the AM before the kids wake up, before I have to really like be dad. If I want to be Jordan, I need to wake up earlier and set that alarm and do those things. That is a behavior that I've decided to commit to so that way I can do the things I want to do that allows me to operate my best self. Hope that makes sense. So it's really our habits and behaviors. Our mind is, the mental is really our mind, and the mind is talking about the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is the body, and it's how the body, again, responds to information. So habits and behaviors, these are activities. Physical breaks down into a lot. I'm not going to talk about it all in this video, but physical is really looking at, right, how we're eating, how we're moving, just think about all the systems in our body. Our body has 12 different systems, the physical body. It's really physically is how our body operates. So do I have good energy? You have high energy, you have low energy, right? That's going to be determined based off the food that I'm eating and the sunlight that I'm getting, and how I'm grounding into the earth, right? So certain things, just in this video, I'm sitting out in the sun, grounding into the earth to be charged, right? So that's how I'm helping my physical body currently while making this video, just sharing, right? Also, types of food you're eating. Are you eating foods that are slowing you down, sluggishing you down, or are you eating foods that are powering you up? Are you eating foods that's created for you? Are you eating foods that are synthetic and not really created for human consumption, or in its origin, right? That's physically, and also how you take care of your body, right? How you take, like, certain foods that you're eating, the right supplements are going to affect your hair and nail growth, it's going to affect your reproductive systems, it's going to affect your circulatory system, your fascia system, how you're moving. Are you getting up? Are you sweating in the morning? Are you sweating in any part of your day? What formats, like there's 3 dimensions of movement. Again, I'm not going to get too deep into all this, but it's 3-dimensional movements. Are you moving in all 3 dimensions so your body is moving well? If you're not doing those things, it's going to affect you physically, right? So to become your best self, you have to lock in mentally, physically, and then we're going to get into emotionally. Emotionally, this is where we interpret information, right? Let's go with the rain again. If it rains, I feel sad today because it's raining. You're interpreting that the rain is sadness. The rain is a sadness. The rain is great. Like, if it's been, I remember being in spaces where it's been so hot and it almost feels like a desert, and it finally rains. It's like, yes, right? Like, there's a joyous moment because the rain is just information. How we interpret that information as good or bad then determines that. Nothing is actually good and bad in life. It's really just how we determine it, right? There's just 2 sides of it. There's this side and that side. Now, you may determine that one side is good, one side is bad, but there are 2 sides. And those 2 sides operate in a frequency that they choose to operate in. And really, based on what you dictate, what is good and bad, that's really what's going to determine that. So how can you monitor? And really, I think that the key to emotion is having love and gratitude. The more love you have for anything and the more gratitude you have for all the spaces, everything that's happening, all the information that's happening, like, man, like, so-and-so just passed. Feels very sad. And there's definitely moments to feel sad, but also, like, having gratitude for your life, having gratitude for the life they lived, having gratitude for the things they left behind, having gratitude for the times you've had will shift you out of just being sad and feel broken and lost to feeling full and like, you know what, I am grateful for the time that we had together, because no day is promised, right? So some people were born and their grandparents were already transitioned, so they didn't have any time. You have some time to reflect back on. Thinking about that, like, and just going really heavy to the space of loss, because sometimes that's a hard thing to navigate. And I'm grateful to have one grandparent still here. And I'm grateful that even the time, like the grandparents that have transitioned, I'm grateful, and I hang on to the last words that I remember them saying to me, and that kind of keeps me. And I think about them on the other side and how they're still moving me and keeping me in motion and inspiring me and just protecting over me. Then we're going to get into, right, all of this, all right, this is again laying up. So if we can create better habits, we can really master and monitor how we're moving our body and the food we're intaking into our body, what we're just putting in and around our body, and then monitoring and really taking inventory of how we're interpreting information. This is developing a solid root system, a solid system of integrity, a solid system that we can, a resilient system is the best word to use, that we can navigate and become the best version of ourselves, right? Spiritually. Next piece. This is component number 4, spiritually. Spiritually is, I'm not going to push any religion onto you. I'm going to say that it is however you connect to source. So whatever you feel like you get source of power from, a source of purpose from, how do you connect to that? Right? So for Christians, you probably go to church on Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, and you pray and you go to Bible study and you read the Bible, those things. Beautiful. Most religions have a book to read and refer to, and they have a prayer system to honor, right? So Muslims pray, they read the Quran and they pray 5 times a day. That is how they connect and plug back into the source, right? So it's really, think of yourself as an appliance, like a functional thing, and the wall as an outlet, and the source as your spirituality. So how do you plug in? How do you plug in to get more power? How do you plug in to get more purpose? So you may believe in the stars. How do you plug in there? Do you do your full moon rituals, your new moon, full moon rituals? You may believe in astrology, right? And then, which is still within the stars. So are you locking in on like the sign what the moon is in and move according to that? You may believe in ancestors. Do you have an altar that you put up and you make sure you listen to the altars, what they're telling you? And again, how are you plugging into the source? This is going to give you your sense of purpose, your sense of belonging, also where you're getting your power from. When you're doing this, you layer it on top of the other 3 things, you are creating more resilient system of knowing like, oh no, this is who I need to become. Looking and having a gaze, right? And across all these things, having a gaze of like, I want to be the man who has these type of habits, moves their body and eats this type of way, interprets everything within gratitude and love, plugs in and prays and meditates and has a grounding practice. And 5th part, number 5, intellectually, how can this help become the person you want to become? This is going to be really how you process information, right? How you process, how you store, how you not interpret, but how you process information. So all information that's coming in, how are you processing it currently? How are you processing? Are you processing this well? Do you have a photographic memory? Are you hearing it like, oh, I got this, or do you need to write it down? Either way, this helps you become, this is just how you process information. This is your intellectual. If you want to grow your intellect, reading, writing, and speaking can help. So intellect is really based off of language, right? So understanding language, understanding numbers, understanding how to speak. So once you understand, let's say the English language, right? So English language has A through Z, the alphabet. It also has numbers, of your number system. And then you're able to process information and then layer it up. So you start from simple, then you evolve it to make it more complex. Once you know your alphabet, then you understand how to read and write. And then you know how to speak. The more you read, the more words you'll gain access to, the more awareness you'll have of words, the more awareness you'll have of things you're not even aware of. You're like, wow, I just learned something new. What else don't I know about? I don't know about this area or topic or etc. Then you start writing, then you're able to, your brain can process on a different level of like, oh, you start to then summon your thoughts, because we all have thousands of thoughts a day. And if you're able to bring your thoughts into clear words, then it's just like you're able to not let your mind run free and wild, but take your thoughts and create out of your thoughts, right? We are all creations from the Creator. If we believe that we are made in God's image or the creator's image, then you are supposed to create. You writing is be able to create from your mind of your thoughts, from your experiences, from what you've seen, what you just have dreamed. You can create from there. Then, reading, writing, and speaking. Can you take this language? Can you take what you've been able to read, what you're able to write, and then speak it and deliver in such a way that other people hear it, receive it, comprehend it? The more you read, write, and speak, the more you grow intellectually. So what type of person do you want to become? I know I want to be an author. I am an author. I've written some books, and I want to be a speaker. And I've been able to speak on stages way back from, I look back at high school, I've been speaking till now. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be on some big stages, dropping some great gems. And even this is a stage that I'm been able to deliver and speak on, which helps me becoming the person that I want to become, and becoming the most evolved human self that I could be. And this is coming from the root system. So the more we lock in with this root system, the more we really leverage this root system, we can start to take and have this resilient system to become the person you want to become. Now, if you want to take this, now that you understand the person you are, and then you find your passion through this whole thing, then we get into how to turn your passion into profits. And it's a fun thing, because once we have our root system, then we can grow and branch out and then start producing fruits. Again, the fruits are going to be the blessings, right? So the fruits of the tree is not for the tree. Your blessing that was given to you by God or by whoever, that blessing is not for you. It's for you to share. Like, this is why I had to start this YouTube, because I realized, like, this information is great for me and it's helping me become the evolved human I am. But human connection and helping humans connect to themselves or to other humans is my gift. And I have to share it with the world, because somebody out there is struggling to connect to their spouse. Somebody's struggling to connect to their child. Somebody's struggling to connect to themselves, to meditate better, to just understand self, understand their own root system. Somebody's struggling to connect to their potential clients or employees, employers. So how could I help humans see humans for humans and connect to each other? Cool. Let me start with the root system. Then you go into the fruit system, and this is how you turn your passion into profit. But maybe you want to go another lane. Maybe you want to operate in a fluid, beautiful, harmonious relationship with your partner. I got you. Like, stay tuned. Or if you want some more information, follow me on Instagram. This is how I human. Shoot me a DM. Say, hey man, I saw your video. I loved it. I want to learn more about how I could, evolve as a human and connect deeper with a human, with myself, et cetera, et cetera. I got you. I would love to help you. Again, to wrap up this video, the 5 ways of how you can become your best self is to lock in with your root system. That is going to be mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and intellectually. Grow in those 5 spaces, and you can grow and evolve into the person that you are designed to be, the human you are designed to be. I love you all. Have an amazing day. And as always, make it remarkable.